Hi, this is Fahim. Welcome to my home theater.
Hey guys, Tony here, and today I'm going to share with you an awesome home theater which started out as a single car garage and shows what you can achieve with some creativity and vision. But first, if you're into home theater, I make regular content on the topic which includes product reviews, helping videos, and room tours like the one you're about to watch. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons, but let's get into it. So as mentioned, the home theater started out as a single car garage, and for him decided it was the perfect spot to build it out. First of all, putting a block out roller door in place to help with the sound containment, with a new timber wall with 13mm plasterboard which was constructed with sound shield insulation and acoustic sound panels to help limit the sound travelling externally. Being that it was a bare shell, it allowed some flexibility when putting it all together. However, there were a few constraints that Fahim had to work with. The first issue was the narrow width of the room, which is 3.2 meters wide, which is typical of a single car garage, so getting 3 seats across was always going to be a challenge. Fahim actually contacted me to order his Valencia chairs, which I'll show you later, as he'd originally picked a different sofa called the Pisa, but it was just too wide for it to fit, so we ended up changing the order to the evergreen Valencia Tuscany. The other constraint was a column in the back right corner of the room, which has the water pipes running through it, so it was not possible to change, and Fahim had to work around it, which meant the rear speakers were placed to the center of the back wall so they weren't too close to the column. The dimensions of the room are 5.2 meters long by 3.2 meters wide and 2.7 meters high, and there is a 1.8 meter riser at the back, so we do have 2 rows of seating. Due to the room being narrow, there is a small walkway which actually works quite well to get down to the front row to the main chair. At the entry to the room, we also have a small poster wall and a Samsung 32-inch TV with a rotating movie poster which Fahim built using a laptop to control it. There is also a nice thick underlay and charcoal carpet which feels quite nice underfoot from the riser to the front of the room. There is also a split system air conditioner to keep the room nice and cool, which is black so it blends in quite nicely, as well as a small stand for his physical media collection, although he tells me he mostly uses the Nvidia Shield Pro to watch his movies and TV shows. For seating, Fahim contacted me to place an order for 2 rows of Valencia theatre seating. As mentioned earlier, he wanted the Pisa for the front row and actually placed the order for it, with a row of 3 connected Tuscany for the back row. But as the build progressed, he realised it just wasn't going to fit without having to do a commando roll over the top of the Pisa. So he made the call to switch over to the Tuscany for the front and a Tuscany 3-seat sofa for the back, which does give plenty of room to move into the room and down to the front row. These chairs are in 11,000 grade Italian Napa leather and have all of the usual back, leg and neck recline features. Fahim tells me they are super comfortable and he loves having them in his room. If you're after a set of Valencia theatre chairs, drop me an email and I'll see how I can help you out. It's one of the ways that I'm able to support the running costs of my channel at no additional expense to you. Links down in the description. The acoustic panels were custom made by Home Entertainment Solutions and do a great job of absorbing sound reflections, gap from the wall, and have some custom LEDs behind them which Fahim controls using an app on his phone. I love how the lighting changes the feel of the room, and combined with the star ceiling, which is also an acoustic element, can be controlled through an RF remote. I'll leave links to Home Entertainment Solutions down in the description. The projector of choice for the build is the Epson LS12000B, and this is a 4K laser projector that has awesome black levels, and I was really surprised at how incredible the image turned out to be. As you can see from the demos, even with some low ambient light in the room, the image just pops off the screen, and I was really impressed at how good the experience was in his room. The screen is a Screen Pro acoustic screen 16:9 130 inches, which pretty much fits perfectly edge to edge, and as the room is over 5 meters long, had enough throw distance to fill it perfectly, with the acoustic panels being just back enough to not obstruct the picture, and it's a very immersive experience. When it came to speakers, after many discussions with the installer, Fahim chose the KEF CI 4100QL THX in walls for the left, centre and right, which have a mounting depth of 76mm as Australian wall cavities are only 90mm deep, which is much less than what you have in the States. These speakers are small, yet surprisingly powerful. I wasn't expecting as big of a sound in the room as I heard. They are rated at 4 ohms and produce 98 decibels for 2.83 volts at 1 meter, and as such they are powered through an external amplifier to give them a bit more grunt. The side and rear surrounds are also the same speaker, which give a nice consistency to the bed layers, and again I was not expecting as big a sound as I experienced from such a small speaker. For overhead and Atmos effects, we have 4 of the KEF CI200QR, which work out well in the space, matching the rest of the speakers. Not much more to say about that. The positioning was spot on and sounded really good when I was watching the demos. For LFE, we have 2 SVS PB2000 subwoofers, which give a nice beefy response throughout the entire room, likely due to the narrow width and the long length. These are also offset by the Dayton Audio 300W bass shakers, which Fahim has installed at the back of each of the chairs, including the sofa, and I like how they are tuned. As Fahim had a sleeping baby upstairs, we had to have the volume pretty tame, yet I was able to experience a nice tactile feedback, and it tricked me into thinking the volume was much louder than it actually was. Overall, a really impressive sound bubble in the room with his speaker choices. For AV gear, we have the Marantz Cinema 50 AV receiver, which processes the 7.2.4 speaker setup and also feeds into 2x200W Dayton bridgeable amplifiers for the bass shakers. To give some extra beef to the mains, we have the Marantz MM7055 power amplifier, and it really helps to increase the output from the main speakers. For playback, we have the Nvidia Shield Pro, and also for smart control we have the Sofa Baton X1S universal remote. Fahim also built out a little space with a 100-inch screen and the JM Go N1 Ultra, which he saw from the review on my channel, and this works out really well for him. Even with the ambient light, it still makes a pretty awesome image, and he uses this space when he wants something more casual, but of course goes into the theatre when it's time to watch something more exciting. Why don't you let Fahim know what you think of his setup down below, and if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I'd like to thank Fahim for giving me a tour of his home theatre, and if you're in Australia and have a room you'd like featured on the channel, why not send me an email and we can have a chat. I'll also leave links down in the description to Home Entertainment Solutions, check them out if you're interested. I'll be posting more about this room on Discord, so check the pinned comment below for a link to join. Anyway guys, a very big thank you for watching, but that's it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.